This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome, America. Welcome, all of you. It's great to be back behind the famous golden hammer microphone, taking calls, answering some emails. I want to welcome all of you to the Invent America segment of our radio program, Home Talk USA. It's a segment that we do in the second hour of each week, where we talk to inventors, product inventors from all over the country, where we kind of give you a blueprint that if you have an idea on maybe a technology and not familiar about the process, well, that's why we're here to help. And I'd like to welcome to the show right now, they call her the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. It's always a tongue thing for me, with that. I can never get it out,
Well, sometimes it is for me, too, and, it does belong to me, and I have been using it for a long time, but every once in a while I'm thinking faster than I can talk, and there it goes.
Well, we only got so much time to talk, and you're right, I talk quick because I want to try to get all that information, and everybody's always said, hey, Cajun man, just slow down. I said, well, hey, we got a clock here that we have to do. Well, Rita, welcome back again, and we're having a great time with the Invent America segment of Home Talk, a little section of the show that we do on the second hour of each week. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about the purpose of the show and, what kind of information we would like to get out there? And, of course, our guests.
It's like you can read my mind because that's exactly what I was thinking about. And, Invent America, our name, is because America invents. We've always been full of inventors across this country. And, our best inventors are the people that are working out in the field or something, and it's like the tool breaks, and they've got to have a better way to do it. And when your introduction was going on, I was thinking it's like there's so many inventors that have those brilliant ideas, and they really don't know then the first steps. And that's what we're here to provide, is because our show broadcasts from coast to coast, and a lot of the people will pick it up, and they're out in rural America, and all of a sudden they go, oh, well, that's the way I should do this. And that's what we're here to do, is to provide them with, like you said, the blueprint of what's my first step. How do I make sure, one, I'm not infringing on somebody else, and then how do I go about protecting my idea so that I can get it out there for other people to use? And so we go through those steps. We talk about different challenges. We talk about different resources so that we're really providing and entertaining, because a lot of our inventors just have the best stories to tell. And, they've had problems, so our experts help solve the problems. And we're off to the races. We've got great entertainment because everybody says, oh, I've always dreamed about being an inventor. So we can help them with their fantasy land, and hopefully we get, some of those with fantasy land into reality check.
Well, and I could recall last week's show that, by the way, was one of our top-rated shows because we talked about something last week that was very important, product liability, because basically you can have that idea, put it on a piece of paper, get your patent down, get your molding done, you're ready to produce this, and then all of a sudden you find out you have a product liability issue because the product you want to put on the market is the liability part of it might very well exceed what is required by law, and you can't even get your product on the market. So you spend all this money, now you can't even get your product out unless one of the big boys come in and, private license it. So
right, exactly. And there's so many challenges. In a couple of weeks, I've got a guest lined up already that's going to specifically talk about then the different categories of product liability, because it's different in home health care and babies is a big one, to the pet market, which isn't as big a deal. So we're going to talk about, those different industries that people can be in and how the product liability insurance impacts their ability to get it to market, and what they need to do then to be able, sooner rather than later, understand that.
Yeah. And then at the end of the hour, at the last segment of the show, we always like to give that information, how if you have an idea of what the process is to get your product on this show. Because we are not a pay-to-play network. We're not a brokered network. We don't charge anybody to be on this radio program. Look, we're just looking for the technologies of the future, and that's what keeps this show on the air. And I tell you, I was in your booth at the trade show, and I had a chance to talk to a majority of your inventors. And I need to tell you, the ideas and the entrepreneurship that they possess is amazing, and this is what it's all about. Just to talk to one of these inventors really gives you the positiveness of to say, you know what? Look, the progressives in this country want to kill America. The progressives in this country want to stifle invention, want to stifle manufacturing. They want to kill the idea. But I need to tell you, progressives out there, and this is not a political show, I'm just making a statement. Hey, America's not dead. America's coming back. And if you're going to keep throwing, darts at it, hey, you might hit that board a couple times, but at the end of the day, it's the will of the American dream, the American to provide a family, to provide a great, so you can raise your family in a good area. Because I tell you, I did a show about 15 years ago on manufacturing communities that have manufacturing. And I need to tell you, Rita, the quality of life of these areas are amazing. Good schools, very reasonable tax areas. And it's because, look, let's face it, providing a great American job provides the American confidence that keeps this big clog wheel rolling. It's just a fact. It's just a fact,
Well, and it's amazing, I've gone through, and even though an inventor may license their idea, they're going to use somewhere between 12 and 15 different service providers getting their product teed up. So they do help keep America at work, even if they're not doing manufacturing, because that's more the startup realm. We don't work as much in that realm. And so we talk about it, but the whole idea is that America inventing is America producing jobs. Well, next week, we're going to talk a little bit about the scoundrels out there, because I want all of the inventors out there to know where to be aware of what can, really tank their idea. And it's the scoundrels. And there's a bunch of them. We're going to talk about them next week.
Well, very well said. Hey, we're going to have to take a short break. When we come back, me and Rita, the inventor lady, we got our first guest, our first inventor. I think we're going to be talking about the Handy Hamper Helper. Boy, that is a tongue twister. Handy Hamper Helper. What are you doing to me, Rita? Oh, my God.
We're testing you.
Oh, Lord, I can't believe it. All right, we're going to take a short break. Always support your local dependent hardware stores and garden centers. And let's pledge to hire a vet today. I'm the Cajun Man from the Bayou Land, along with my co-host, Rita Crompton. We're going to be right back. Yay! To the Invent America Show.
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome back. Don't forget, we are streaming live at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. We are live every Saturday at 4 o'clock Central Time when we put out the live single through all our radio affiliates, all our terrestrial radio affiliates. And if you catch us other than 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Central Time, you can catch our podcasts, our online streaming at HomeTalkUSA.com. You can also go to the Inventor Lady website and catch the show where we download the show on her website also. So there's a whole bunch of ways of catching the radio program, the Invent America show. All right, Rita, we have our first guest. Can you tell us who we have?
Our first guest today is John Lopez. He is from Tampa, Florida. Always very interested in the mechanical engineering and the way he could use that skill set to solve everyday problems. So, John, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Rita. Glad to be here.
So John is the inventor. His most recent one is the Handy Hamper Helper, and Michael and I were laughing that if you say that 3 times real fast, you'll fall over. So, John, you tell us a little bit about what the Handy Hamper Helper does.
All right, yeah, the Handy Hamper Helper, what's my tongue too, it is a hamper that you, of course, keep your laundry in it, and it has a lift so that when you empty out your laundry, it's an upright hamper. And rather than bending over into the hamper to get them socks or whatever on the bottom, you simply just pull up on the handle, and it brings your clothes up to your level so that you don't have to stoop over into the basket, and you can empty it out from the top. And
it works great. Yeah, it works great.
Mm-hmm.
You went to the hardware show with us a few years ago, and your original one was made out like a traditional hamper. It was plastic.
Yes.
But at that point now, manufacturing and the green effort was starting to take hold and starting to push on us. So what did you find out, and how did you fix the problem?
Yes, I had to think more about it, and once I found out the cost was outrageous for the plastic mold, I decided to come up with a fabric basket hamper that it could be made of fabric in different colors, and you can also fold it up, and it has wheels on it, and it performs the same way where you can lift up your laundry or any other items that you may have, simple groceries, etc. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting that by making that change from the plastic mold and the traditional plastic hamper, which, the stores don't want it taking up shelf space. It's expensive to ship. There were a lot of reasons why companies are starting to move away from those big plastic molds. We've seen the same issue come up in coolers. But by changing it then to being that plastic or that fabric one where it folds up nice and easily, you're exactly right. It's easier now to take to a grocery store and to use in a grocery store. It's easier to use if you were traveling. It's just a lot easier to manufacture, to ship, the shelf space that it would take up, the packaging that it would need. So just making that one simple change has a pretty big impact.
Absolutely. Yes, it does. It adds a lot more to it, and it's great for storage as well. When you're done with it, simply fold it up, hang it up, or set it in your closet.
Yeah, I was really impressed because we took your new prototype then to the show with us 2 years ago, and that's where we were able to really get some interest in it. But it was because you had, taken the initiative to change that original prototype into the fabric one that folded up, and it was a suitcase manufacturer then that said, "Aha, this has got some serious legs to it," no pun intended, because it's a wheels and pull up. But it really did make a difference then in the cost to the consumer, because of the cost of the manufacturing will be more reasonable.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, what is your goal then with the Handy Hamper Helper? Tell everybody.
Well, I'd like to share my experience with it and see how people feel about it, and possibly have it licensed if anybody has any interest in it.
So, and that's one of the things. I'm sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Is it on the market ready to go now, though? I didn't hear that.
No, sir.
Okay, so you're in a, prototype stage, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, how did the show work out for you, though? You got some bites?
Yeah, when we were at the show 2 years ago, we did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we had Walmart was interested, or Home Depot, on their website was interested in it, from Canada, and a couple other ones, I believe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was actually a suitcase manufacturer where they were looking at it from that point of view of they were manufacturing those pull suitcases, and they liked that internal mechanism that would allow someone to pull up whatever was in the bottom of the case to then waist level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at licensing. So we are going after, if there's anybody out there that's curious about this, they need to get a hold of me or John and ask us about licensing. And they can do it through the Inventor Lady website by just clicking on the Contact Us form.
Does he, Rita, let me ask you, does he have other, does he have other products he's working on?
John?
As far as inventions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have one other one that I had patented, and
all right.
It is a yes. You want to know what it is?
Yeah, no, not right now. We will get back on it, because if we have to do a show, and if I give all the information, then I got no show.
Okay.
All right, Rita, you can find all this information on your website, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you give me that website again, Rita?
InventorLady.com.
InventorLady.com. Great. Well, thank you so much, John Lopez. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, Michael. Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Me and the Inventor Lady herself, Rita Crompton. This is the Invent America Show, segment of Home Talk radio program right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. We both be right back. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. Don't forget, I want to invite all of you to check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. That's HomeTalkTV.com. We have 61 episodes ready for you to watch on our on-demand. So that's HomeTalkTV.com. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Invent America radio program, the radio segment of Home Talk USA radio program. Rita, who's our next inventor?
Our next inventor is Jacob Morrise. He is out of Utah, and he invented the MicroFold Stroller. Now, it helps if you understand a little bit about Jacob's background and why he's on today, is that he's a mechanical product designer since 2006. And as a father of 10 children, he is very motivated to help families and individuals invent things and get them prototyped and manufactured into the marketplace. Is going to make family life easier. So the MicroFold Stroller is a good example of that. But the challenge is, and when I'd asked Jacob about this, is that, over that early staging of prototypes, inventors can go through multiple chapters of prototyping. But as now you combine that with how technology has changed and materials have changed, so that we've gone to be more focused on eco-friendly products, Jacob's had to go through several stages. So, Jacob, tell us, first of all, what is the MicroFold Stroller, and then how you've seen materials develop over the last 10, 15 years that's impacted your design.
Yeah, so, excuse me. So the MicroFold Stroller is a very small folding compact stroller that folds to less than a third the size of the small stroller on the market. So really small, really compact, easy to carry with you. It fits in diaper bags with a lot of extra space. Fits in. Actually, I carry it around, showing off to people in my computer bag a lot. So I've made several prototypes on this. Most of them are from, pieces of luggage and 3D prints and aluminum tubing. And so material-wise, there's always a lot of kind of struggles of what you want. So in this case, what I'm looking for is basically the smallest parts that can hold and support this thing. Things like looked into carbon fiber, for example, which is super strong, really light, but also quite expensive. And so it's a lot of that kind of, what kind of fabrics do we need? What fabrics do we have out there? So it's a lot of trying to figure out what kind of price point I need with what kind of strength and things I need as well.
Well, and I think you hit on a really important point there, which is, if you're looking at a product that needs to hit a certain price point in the marketplace, how do you've got to kind of tackle that from both sides. One is the price point you're trying to hit, which is the multiple of 5, and we'll talk about that on another show, how you calculate that. But then on the actual cost, it's like, well, this material is way too expensive. We're never going to hit that price point. This material isn't strong enough, and even though we'd hit the price point, it's not going to be safe enough. So, inventors that at that early stage start messing around with those options are going to have a better chance of getting to market successfully than if they go out with something that's too expensive and then the consumer won't pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. And from me, there's 4 things to kind of look at, especially with this stroller. There's strengths. Are the pieces going to be able to withstand the weights and things they go through? What's the weight and the size of the thing? How does it look? And how durable is this thing going to be over time? And for me, it's kind of choose the lowest cost material that you can that's going to meet your requirements. With this, it's got to look nice, and so I can't go and buy the cheapest fabric that can have the strength. It's got to have a good aesthetic look. It's got to be low weight, so I can't use steel on it because that's going to weigh way more than aluminum, even though aluminum is going to be more expensive. So it's kind of what kind of materials are going to let me hit that price point, but you also have kind of a bottom line of we have to make it for this price so we can sell it for that. So I just look at what's my lowest cost material that's going to meet my requirements and go with that. So that's kind of a good model to use. It doesn't make any sense to spend a whole lot of money on a really nice material that nobody cares about.
True. You're very, very, very true on that. And I get a lot of inventors who don't understand that experimental stage of the prototyping, that we can go through several iterations of a prototype. And in order to get to where we need to be, there's some trial and error on the side of the inventor and the manufacturer.
Well, and there is some give and take, too. There's the type of materials you use can either put this in a high-end category or low-end category with the same kind of design, and people can say, yeah, I can justify this because it's got carbon fiber. Of course that's going to be more expensive. This is awesome. Versus aluminum, well, that's not going to be as good. So you got to look at the kind of give and take. Where do you want to be situated in the market? Do you want a high-end version, a high-end side? And sometimes you can make different versions. You can have a low-end version and a high-end version just based off materials.
Right, and a licensee can actually do a couple of different versions. They could do, that high-end version if they wanted to, maybe with a different material, different name, different packaging. It's not unusual that you've got the same product, different packaging, but basically the same intellectual property covering it, just a little bit different look to it.
Yeah, I've got a guitar up here, and I'm looking at my guitar right now. I'm thinking there's places like Gibson and some of those places that have really, really nice guitars that are really well constructed, really good materials, and then they have really low-end guitars, and they're for totally different demographics of people. Long-time users, really good players to new people. Yeah. You got to know what are you looking for and who are you trying to sell this to.
All right, we got to step in. All right, Rita. Hey, Jacob, you have a website, morriseproducts.com, right?
Yeah, Morrise Products, MORRISE products.com.
Say it one more time.
What MORRISE products.com. Talks about some of what I do.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jacob. Maurice, thank you for being our guest, my friend.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you much.
All right, Rita, we've got to take a short break. Got to pay some bills. Got to hear from some of our great sponsors by helping to patronize all our great sponsors. Basically, it keeps our show on the air, Rita, since no guests are charged to be on this radio program. This is the Invent America Show with my guests and my sidekick, Miss Rita Crompton, the inventor lady herself, segment of our Home Talk USA radio program. I'm the Cage Man. I'll be right back. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of the Invent America radio show, the radio segment of Home Talk USA. I want to welcome all of you with my co-host, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, we got our last guest. Who you got lined up for us?
Well, our product expert today is Ron Angstead. He is the president and CEO of RapidPro Manufacturing. And in 2001, you're going to love this, he was the production manager and VP at Intermountain Railway Company, which was a model train manufacturing company. And then he and a business partner purchased Rapid Prototyping Corporation, and he put his engineering prototyping services to great use. And now he helps inventors do their prototypes and get set up for manufacturing. So, Ron, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate your expertise. And the topic for you today to address is how materials have changed in cost and in the options of those materials over the last 15 years.
Well, Rita and Mike, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be joining you today. And, that's a great question. The costs and even some of the characteristics that are available today compared to 15 or 20 years ago have changed quite a bit. And, it kind of depends on the specifics of the project, but I think with all of our economic awareness and with the costs going up in the supply chain, it's really forced a lot of us to really, dig deep in finding other options and other more cost-effective materials and maybe even manufacturing methods to help our customers and to help inventors, to be more frugal with their cash flow. We all need to keep an eye on that cash and not spend anything extra that we don't need to. So I think, as we get into some of the specifics, plastics kind of make the world go round and have for a long, long time, but those petroleum-based products can be expensive, and also, as we know, they fill up our landfills and they do not degrade. So especially biodegradable materials have become more and more prevalent as we're looking to solve some of those long-term solutions, long-term problems.
And I would think that an inventor is better off sooner rather than later contacting someone like you to help them understand options and the costs.
So, Rita, you hit the nail on the head right there. In our design processes and practices, we really focus on design for manufacturability. But even before that, it goes to, an inventor or an entrepreneur that comes up with a new product concept or idea. They've got a vision of, kind of what they see the product being as an end result. It's important for our design team to understand exactly, what their goals are and what they're after, and then we can start presenting options on how to accomplish those goals. Sometimes there's a disconnect in assumptions that are made by an inventor that doesn't have that manufacturing experience, and we can oftentimes provide that experience and some options. So, one example is we've got a customer that is in the remodeling industry, and you're familiar with the recessed can lights, right, that go in basements and a lot of remodels, a lot of new construction. Well, when the electricians install those and then the drywallers come in and work around those, they have to put the drywall in and some finish, and then they've got to texture and paint those enclosures, and they have to mask the electronics inside. So one of our customers came up with an idea that is a pre-designed masking disc that goes into the recessed can to protect it from the paint and the texture. So we've made that in two versions. One is a plastic version that's reusable, so it can be cleaned and reused over and over again for a decade. The other is disposable, and those are made out of just what we're talking about, a paper pulp injected material that is biodegradable and can be discarded and thrown away and doesn't end up in a landfill. And if it does, it biodegrades and turns into the earth.
All right, Ron,
wonderful.
We're out of time, Ron. I apologize. Like I said, it goes pretty quick. Now, you have a website, RapidPro.com, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's where we can find you, RapidPro.com. Great. Well, Ron, thank you so much for being our guest, my friend. I know we're definitely going to get you back in the near future, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot. It was fun to join you today.
All right, great. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, me and the Inventor Lady, we're going to wrap up the Invent America show. Don't go nowhere, though. We're going to have some important breaking news coming up right when we come back off a break, so don't go nowhere. This is Invent America, segment of Home Talk USA radio program. I'm the Cajun Contractor, along with Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady. We'll be right back.
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, hey, welcome back. This is the Invent America show, segment of Home Talk USA radio program. Me and the inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton, want to welcome you. Wow, Rita, we had a great guest, but hey, can you tell people what we can expect next week?
Hopefully it's not a name that's got a whole bunch of the same letters in it. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
So, yes, another big topic is how to help inventors avoid the scoundrels. I always say it doesn't matter how expensive the suit is, the shark will still eat you. And scoundrels, will take advantage of you. So we've got some really good steps on how to avoid that.
And then, we got to go. There's the music. I want to thank you again for being our guest. And Rita, thank you again, and I'm going to see you next week.
Absolutely.
All right, and we'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here on the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. Y'all come back next week, you hear? Yeah.
Home Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Bonide, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of InstaBind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deck Right, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com.
Yeah.